The difference between a stressful first cruise and a flawless vacation often comes down to just 3 decisions made before you even leave your house. Most first-timers walk onto the ship making expensive mistakes within the first hour because the rules of the ocean are completely different from hotels on land. From electrical systems that can melt your chargers to a specific type of clothing that can get you arrested in the Caribbean, the learning curve is steep. This 2026 guide covers smart cruising, removing the anxiety, and focusing on the specific logistics, safety protocols, and money-saving strategies that turn a rookie into a pro. Your first instinct is to pack a power strip because ship cabins are known for having few outlets. Do not pack the one you use at home. Cruise ship electrical systems operate on a floating ground with 60 volts on both lines, unlike the standard grounded systems in residential houses. If you plug in a standard surge protector, it can overheat, melt, or cause a fire. Security will confiscate it from your luggage every single time. The correct move is to buy a simple, cheap, non-surge power strip or a USB hub. Even better, since most ships in 2026 still feature one US and one European outlet at the desk, bring a simple European adapter to double your charging capacity without spending more than a few dollars. There are legal landmines that surprise travelers every year. If your itinerary touches the Caribbean, specifically nations like Barbados, Jamaica, or St. Lucia, leave the camouflage clothing at home. It is reserved for military personnel, and wearing it is illegal for civilians. You can be fined or have the clothes confiscated right off your back. Even more serious is the zero-tolerance policy for CBD and marijuana. It does not matter if it is legal in your home state or if you have a medical card. Once you cross the gangway, you are under maritime and international law. Cruise lines like Carnival and Royal Caribbean have lifetime bans for passengers caught with CBD products. Leave it behind, or you risk being denied boarding with no refund. Standard cabins are roughly 170 square feet, which means organization is survival. The most valuable surface in your room is actually the wall. Because ship cabins are prefabricated metal boxes, the walls are steel. Pack heavy-duty magnetic hooks rated for £25 or more. You can hang damp swimsuits, lanyards, hats, and the daily schedule right on the wall to keep the tiny desk clear. Another must-have is a motion sensor nightlight. Interior cabins are completely pitch black when the lights are out, and walking through an unfamiliar room at 3 a.m. leads to stubbed toes. Finally, bring towel clips. The wind on the pool deck can be surprisingly strong, and without clips, your towel will end up 3 decks down. We are just getting started with the logistics. If you want to keep your travel smart and your wallet full, make sure to subscribe for more detailed breakdowns of modern travel. Now, let's talk about the most chaotic day of the trip. When you arrive at the terminal, porters will take your large suitcases. You might not see those bags again until 8 p.m. This creates a gap where rookies get stuck. Your carry-on backpack is your main tool. It must contain your passport, daily medications, and phone chargers. But the smart move is packing your swimsuit. The pools and hot tubs are empty on embarkation day because everyone else's swimwear is locked in their checked luggage. While they wait in the atrium, you could be enjoying the best pool time of the entire cruise. Keep all expensive electronics and jewelry with you. Checked bags are stacked thousands deep in metal cages, so fragile items do not fare well. Alcohol packages in 2026 can easily cost $80 to $100 per person per day. However, almost every major line, including Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Disney, has a policy you can use. You are allowed to bring one standard 750 milliliter bottle of wine or champagne per adult in your carry-on luggage on embarkation day. For a couple, that is 2 bottles of wine you don't have to buy at markup prices. The catch is strict. It must be in your carry-on, not checked bags. If you put it in checked luggage, it will be spotted on the X-ray and confiscated. If you want to drink it in the dining room, they will charge a corkage fee of around $15, but you can drink it in your cabin for free. Boarding usually starts around 11 a.m., and 90% of passengers head straight to the buffet, known as the Windjammer or Lido Marketplace. It becomes a crowded mess of people dragging suitcases and fighting for tables. Avoid going there. Check the ship's app immediately. Often, the main dining room or specialty casual spots like Park Cafe on Royal Caribbean or the Pasta Bar on Carnival are open for lunch. These venues are free, they have plenty of seating, and they are significantly quieter. You start your vacation being served a meal in peace, while everyone else is stressing out in the buffet line. The moment the ship unties from the dock, your standard cell service is dead. If you leave your phone on normal settings, it will connect to Cellular at Sea, a maritime network that charges high rates. Think $5 a minute for calls and huge fees for data. You can come home to a bill for hundreds of dollars just for background app refreshing. Put your phone in airplane mode before the ship moves. However, you can turn your Wi-Fi back on while staying in airplane mode. This allows you to connect to the ship's guest Wi-Fi, which is required to use their free app for deck plans and schedules, even if you don't pay for an internet package. In the main dining room, the menu is flexible. Beginners worrying about whether to get the shrimp cocktail or the soup often don't realize the answer is get both. Food is included in your fare. If you cannot decide between the steak and the pasta, order the steak as your entree and ask for a side portion of the pasta. If you want 3 appetizers and no main course, that is allowed. The staff actually prefers you to be full and happy rather than polite and hungry. Just be mindful of food waste by ordering what you will actually enjoy without feeling limited to one plate. A common fear is water safety, but ship water is cleaner than what you have at home. It is desalinated and heavily filtered. You do not need to drag cases of plastic bottles on board. However, there is one strict hygiene rule at the buffet. Never fill your personal water bottle directly from the dispenser nozzle. This transfers bacteria from the bottle's lip to the machine. Always fill a clean ship glass first, then pour that into your bottle. If you do start feeling seasick, skip the expensive medicine initially. The crew suggests green apples. They contain natural pectin which settles the stomach, and you can find them in the buffet or ask room service. It is a highly effective natural remedy at sea. Most major lines have started charging a service fee for hot room service items, like burgers or eggs. But the continental breakfast, coffee, juice, toast, fruit, and pastries, is usually still free on lines like Royal Caribbean and Carnival. The smart move is to use the door hanger menu before you go to sleep. Mark off coffee and croissants for a delivery time 30 minutes before you plan to wake up. This acts as your alarm clock and allows you to enjoy breakfast on your balcony or in bed while the ship pulls into a new port, all without fighting the morning buffet crowds or spending a dime. The advertised price of your cruise is never the final price. The biggest shock for first-timers is the daily gratuity charge. In 2026, expect this to run between $18 and $20 per person per day, depending on the cruise line. For a couple on a 7-day trip, that is an extra $280 added to your bill automatically. These funds go to the room stewards and dining staff who work behind the scenes. The best approach is to prepay these gratuities when you book the cruise. This locks in the rate, protecting you if the cruise line raises the price before you sail, and it means you board the ship with one less bill to worry about. Finally, be careful with how you pay. When you link a card to your onboard account, the ship places holds on your funds to verify you can pay. If you use a debit card, these holds freeze actual cash in your checking account. Even after you pay the final bill, your bank might take weeks to release those initial holds, leaving you with no access to your own money. Always use a credit card for onboard spending. Also, keep watching the price of your cruise after you book. If the fare drops before your final payment date, you can call and get repriced to the lower rate. If it drops after final payment, you can often negotiate for onboard credit to cover the difference. Cruising doesn't have to be a series of expensive lessons. By packing the right gear, understanding the electrical and legal restrictions, and managing the dining rules with confidence, you have already put yourself ahead of 90% of the passengers on board. You are there to relax, and nothing secures relaxation better than preparation. If this guide saved you from a packing disaster or a surprise bill, consider subscribing for more travel breakdowns. There is a whole world to see, and the best way to see it is with a plan. Safe travels.